In this video, I want to talk about preparing your product images for putting into your WordPress shopping cart. Images, of course, are absolutely crucial when you're selling, and we want to make sure we've got lots of great images, and we want to have some good large images. But the problem is that images coming out of your camera are absolutely gigantic. Okay, so here's an image that's come out of a camera. But notice it's 17% right now. Let me show you 100%. Here's what the image actually looks like in its full size. Well, of course, this is massive, way too big for any website, way too big for the screen, doesn't even fit on the screen. So the point is, coming out of your camera, the image you get is way too big. And those of you who use WordPress are going to say, well, don't forget, George, it does create smaller images for you. And that's true. Let me show you. Let's go over and we're going to add that giant cloud image here. We'll go to our media library, add new, and watch what happens just to let you see what this actually does. And you can see right off the bat, look how long that's taking to upload. This is crazy gigantic. It's over 3,000 pixels wide. It's still processing it. What it's doing right now actually is creating those smaller versions. Okay, so there we go. Look at the size of that. Yeah, 3,648 pixels. That's just crazy. Now let's show you how it creates smaller versions here. I'm just going to go and add a new post here. And let's say we were going to insert that image. And I go to my media library. And I go find the test image here. Look at that. So there's the different sizes that it gives us, right? It's created a thumbnail, a medium, a large, and then the full size. Now look at the large, the difference between large and full size. Even large is going to give you a pretty big image sitting on the screen. But the idea here is that we want to put into WordPress a smaller image. Now, why is that? Well, for one thing, you don't want to take up extra space unnecessarily on your server, especially if you have lots of product images and you keep uploading 3, 4, 5 megabyte images. It's crazy to use up your space that way. But the more important point is visitor comfort with the loading of the site. So if you need to use the full-size image, and this does happen quite often when you're doing galleries and it pops up from a thumbnail, right? It shows you the full-size image. Well, that's going to be way too big. And again, it's going to load slowly and it's going to be a nuisance to your visitors. So be nice to your visitors and prepare your images beforehand. And how do we do that? Well, what you have to do is resize the image. And you can do this in any basic image editor. It doesn't even have to be a fancy program like Photoshop or Photo Elements or something like that. We just go to Picture. In this particular case, we go to Picture, Size, and we're going to scale it. Okay, and there you can see the pixels. Gigantic, and we'll say 1,000. 1,000 pixels is plenty on the longest side. Always remember the longest side. Okay, and you can see the height's been reduced to 750. Look at the difference in sizing. I'll show you again. I don't know if you caught that. Look at the size there, 38 megabytes, and we're taking it down to 1,000 pixels, which reduces it to 2.9 megabytes. All right. Quite a difference. There we go. Now, look how large that is. That's still, filling the screen top to bottom. So that's plenty. And then we save that, and we resave it as a new image, a smaller image. And that way, you're going to be kind to your visitors, you're going to take up less space, and just make it easier on everybody. So that's how to prepare your images for your shopping cart.